Hello, Julien Pierre Nouen from Lazard. Can you explain us a bit about the investment process from Lazard?
Yes, so my team manage multi-asset funds dedicated for all kind of clients. We have a process that is rooted in fundamental analysis, and one of the specificity of our process is that we have a team, the lead team managing the portfolios is in charge of the macro outlook, the market outlook, and decide the asset allocation of the fund. Then we will delegate to our in-house equity and bond picking team the selection of specific equities and bonds. And for this asset allocation process, we spend a lot of time looking at the macro outlook to take our decision.
What are your most dominant or most favorite macroeconomic factors you look at?
We think that the business cycles are a reality, and if you look at the performance of financial assets over the long run, the key question that you have to ask yourself is, are we close to a recession or not? Because if you're not close to a recession, if you are in the middle of an expansion, you need to be overweight risky assets like equities, credit versus safe assets like government bonds. And so we spend most of our time trying to figure out whether there is a recession around the corner or not.
And what's your current outlook for the coming years or this year, globally?
We don't think there is a recession coming in the short term. Obviously, everybody is very focused right now on the economic impact of the coronavirus. We think that it will be a short-term impact, maybe lasting for a few months. Thereafter, we should have a recovery in the economic activity, and so we think that it's right now, because central banks are easing rates, a lot of governments are starting to increase budget deficits. This will help the economy recover. And so we think that risky assets should perform well, especially after the fall that we have over the last few days, weeks. And so we are currently in the process of re-exposing the fund to these assets.
Today we see extreme low interest rates, almost negative, or in many countries they are negative. What's your view about that?
We think that interest rates are very low because central banks are very cautious about the impact of their policy on the economic activity. We think that it will take time, obviously, but in the next few quarters, interest rates should go up a little bit because economic activity will recover. And so we think that you need to look at other assets to bring performance to a portfolio. That's something we try to do in our portfolio, is that we try to be very flexible. When we think that the outlook is good for equities, we'll be overweight equities, and when we think that some factors can weigh on equity, we will lower the exposure.
Do you also have specific investment analysis, macroeconomic processes for several sectors or industries?
As I said, the stock picking is delegated to our in-house equity portfolio management team. They don't rely on a sector analysis. They are really stock pickers. So we don't have any specific bets on sectors. It's really picking specific equities that are most likely to perform into a macro environment.
Mr. Nouen, thanks for the interview.
You're welcome.